Yo, what is up, YouTube? Back with another video today. We're going to be starting with the AFC North. We're going to start with the worst team in this division, the Bengals. We're going to go over their schedule. And, this team, I don't know what it's going to look like this year. Joe Burrow was playing really good until he was injured. And at the end of the year, the Bengals defense, I guess you could say, got a little better, but not good. Looking at their schedule, though, this team has one of the hardest schedules, probably, the hardest schedule in the league. Even though it's a fourth-place team, it plays other fourth-place teams. It does play the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns 2 times a year for a combined total of 6 games. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty tough. So let's just dive into it. Week 1, the Minnesota Vikings play the Bengals, and this game is at Cincinnati. So this is a pretty lucky start to their season, I would say. Bengals get a home game. So the Vikings were pretty good last year. They weren't that good, but they were decent. Middle of the league team. I believe they went like 7-9. The Vikings had a playoff team, but a horrible defense. So, yeah, both these teams are decent offensively. I think the Bengals are going to take a big step offensively, especially since Joe Burrow is going to be healthy. Yeah, so both these teams offensively, pretty decent. I would say the Vikings offense is a lot more established, probably better. And I do believe the Vikings are the better team, which is why I think the Vikings are going to get a road win week 1. And the Bengals start 0-1. Following week, the Bengals go on the road and play at the Chicago Bears. So, I don't know who's going to be QB for the Bears at this game. It's either going to be Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. But I do know one thing, is that the Bears defense is really good. It was good enough to carry this team to the playoffs. Almost got them a win against the Saints. But still, defense is really good. Going to be a big struggle for the Bengals offense, I would say. This is going to be a pretty bad performance by them. And the Bears get the week 2 win at Chicago, and the Bengals lose once again. So the following week, the Bengals play at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Bengals haven't won in Pittsburgh. I don't even remember since, I honestly don't even know. It's been a long time. The Bengals did beat the Steelers last year, around week 16 or 15. It was one of those games the Steelers, just had no idea what they were doing offensively, and they lost. But the last time the Steelers played the Bengals at home, they won by like 30 points or something. I do believe the Steelers are going to win this game. Steelers, probably one of the better teams in the league, and they literally destroy the Bengals every time they play them. So week 4, the Bengals host the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for the Bengals to get their first win of the year. The Bengals are pretty bad, and so are the Jaguars, but the Jaguars, I believe, at this point in time, might be struggling on all aspects of their game. This is going to be Joe Burrow versus, of course, number 1 pick Trevor Lawrence. I do believe the Bengals are going to best the Jaguars. Bengals are probably going to be the better team, and they're going to get their first win of the year at home. So week 5, the Cincinnati Bengals play at home against the Packers. Honestly, if Aaron Rodgers isn't playing in this game, I honestly think the Bengals are going to win. I'm not even joking when I say that. I think the Bengals win this game if Aaron Rodgers is not a Packer next year. And I honestly believe Aaron Rodgers ain't returning to Green Bay. So I'm going to give the Bengals a win here if Aaron Rodgers is not playing. If he is playing, no shot the Bengals win. But honestly, I don't see it. I don't see Aaron Rodgers returning. I give the Packers a loss against the Bengals. So give the Bengals a second win of the year. So the following week, they go on the road and they play at the Detroit Lions. Really, really bad team. One of the worst in the league. Playing them by default on their schedule, have to play them this year. I think the Bengals, once again, get a win. making it 3 in a row. I think the Lions are just going to be one of the worst teams in the league next year. And, they really don't have anything going for them this year. Bengals get their 3rd win of the year, 3 in a row. So with all that hype, the Bengals win 3 in a row. And now they play the rival. All the way in Baltimore, we got the Bengals playing the Ravens. This matchup has been extremely one-sided for a decent amount of time in favor of the Ravens, of course. Every time they play each other, the Ravens seem to win by a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot. So yeah, I think the Ravens win this game without a doubt. I think the Bengals are going to give them a fight this year. It hasn't really been a competition over the past couple of years. And Joe Burrow's healthy in this game. I honestly think the Bengals give the Ravens a pretty good, game. But at the same time, I think the Ravens win this game by like 20 points. So give the Bengals a loss. And the following week, they play at the New York Jets. Honestly, I think the Bengals should win this game. I think they should win this game. I think they are a better team. But after getting absolutely destroyed by the Ravens, literally destroyed. And when I say destroyed, I mean destroyed. I believe they're going to be physically exhausted, mentally fatigued, and they are going to somehow lose at the Jets the following week. I think they choke this game. I think they're favored to win it. Even though it's in New York, I think the Bengals are easily the better team. And the Bengals choke this game at New York. The following week, they play the Browns. They gave them a pretty good fight last year. Almost won. But as you may know, Baker Mayfield and I think Jarvis Landry had literally the most insane comeback with literally seconds left on the clock. Something like that. The Bengals lost. This game is in Cincinnati. I think the Bengals have a good opportunity to win this game, but they choke. The Browns, hate to say it, but they're looking pretty good next year. Their offense was pretty good last year, rushing-wise, and their defense just got even better in the offseason. Honestly, Browns are scary. Bengals lose once again. Now, I'm just going to show you the rest of their schedule. It ain't looking friendly. They play at the Raiders, a playoff team, basically. I don't think the Raiders are a playoff team, statistically wise, but they should be. I think they lose to the Raiders. Following week, they host the Steelers. I think they lose to the Steelers. Following week, they host the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to be one of the most established, comeback player of the year teams. I mean, it's not really a comeback, but still. I think the Chargers are going to be one of the most improved teams of the year, make a playoff push, and win against the Bengals. Then they host the 49ers. For sure they get a win here. No. Honestly, 49ers are another playoff team that should be, a Super Bowl contender. They go on the road to play the Broncos, a team that's basically even in scale with the Bengals. I wouldn't even say either of these teams are better. It's in Denver, though, and winning in Denver is very tough. Even a good team somehow loses to, the horrible Broncos. They lose that game. And then they play the Ravens, Chiefs, and Browns all in a row. And I honestly don't see them winning any of those games. So, unfortunately, I have the Bengals finishing the year 3-14, getting wins against the Jaguars, Packers, if Aaron Rodgers is not playing. And, of course, the Lions, the worst team in the league. It's part of the tanking process. You can't be a playoff team, every year. You can't have a winning record every year, except you're the Steelers, of course. But, tanking, even if you have a good team, this schedule is really hard. And I think it's good to have a pretty bad record, better draft picks in the future, just building for the future. It is what it is. But that's it. Bengals fans, I'm sorry. It's not looking good for you next year. Adios.